doing restorative poses tonight. So those are longer held poses, and you just want to make sure you have all of the stuff that you could possibly use to get comfortable: pillows, blankets, blocks, etc. We're going to spend maybe 10 minutes with a guided body scan. So it'll be especially important during that time for you to be warm. So having a little sweater, a pair of socks, little cap you can put on. We're going to begin this evening just by coming to lie down in constructive rest. Really basic pose. Lying on your back, your feet on the floor, your knees pointing up. And this is how it's going to be for maybe 7 minutes or so. We'll get started in silence. And if you want to use music, we'll turn it on after this pose. So it might be good to have your controls nearby. Good. Getting started in this constructive rest to really feel the floor underneath you. Good. I know many of you are seasoned yoga practitioners and definitely spend a lot of time on the floor. Great. Notice how it feels right now. What is it like to be settling in? What is it like with your breathing? How do your muscles feel? How do your joints feel? Really just taking good care to arrange yourself so that you are nothing but comfortable right now on your back in constructive rest. Good. Just listening to your breath for a little while here and letting your day go. Good. It's not always easy to let the day go. If you have some thoughts chattering around up in your head, acknowledge them. Just kind of take notice of how things are up there. Good. And then just allow yourself to soften. Softening here into the floor, and maybe even imagining we're softening into the ground beneath the floor, into the earth. And I figured it'd be nice to read this poem by Joy Harjo this evening. And it's kind of lengthy, so bear with me, but it's really, really beautiful for calling the spirit back from wandering the earth in its human feet. Put down that bag of potato chips, that white bread, that bottle of pop. Turn off that cell phone, computer, and remote control. Open the door, then close it behind you. Take a breath offered by friendly winds. They travel the earth, gathering essences of plants to clean. Give it back with gratitude. If you sing, it will give your spirit lift to fly to the stars' ears and back. Acknowledge this earth who has cared for you since you were a dream, planting itself precisely within your parents' desire. Let your moccasin feet take you to the encampment of the guardians who have known you before time, who will be there after time. They sit before the fire that has been there without time. Let the earth stabilize your post-colonial insecure jitters. Be respectful of the small insects, birds, and animal people who accompany you. Ask their forgiveness for the harm we humans have brought down upon them. Don't worry. The heart knows the way, though there may be high rises, interstates, checkpoints, armed soldiers, massacres, wars, and those who will despise you because they despise themselves. The journey might take you a few hours, a day, a year, a few years, 100, 1,000, or even more. Watch your mind. Without training, it might run away and leave your heart for the immense human feast set by the thieves of time. Do not hold regrets. When you find your way to the circle, to the fire kept burning by the keepers of your soul, you will be welcomed. You must clean yourself with cedar, sage, or other healing plant. Cut the ties you have to failure and shame. Let go the pain you are holding in your mind, your shoulders, your heart, all the way down to your feet. Let go the pain of your ancestors to make way for those who are heading in our direction. Ask for forgiveness. Call upon the help of those who love you. These helpers take many forms: animal, element, bird, angel, saint, stone, or ancestor. Call your spirit back. It may be caught in corners and creases of shame, judgment, and human abuse. You must call in a way that your spirit will want to return. Speak to it as you would to a beloved child. Welcome your spirit back from its wandering. It may return in pieces and tatters. Gather them together. They will be happy to be found after being lost for so long. Your spirit will need to sleep a while after it is bathed and given clean clothes. Now you can have a party. Invite everyone you know who loves and supports you. Keep room for those who have no place else to go. Make a giveaway and remember to keep the speeches short. Then you must do this. Help the next person find their way through the dark. And a few really big breaths here. Big breaths into your body, your whole body. Big exhales, settling in. Good. And then I'm just going to invite you to hit play on your playlist if you want to use music this evening, and if you want peace and quiet, that might also be the thing. Good. Taking time to settle yourself into a restorative bridge pose next. And this can be done in a bunch of different ways. If you have a bolster, you can bring it underneath your pelvis. If you have a block, same thing. It might just be one block under your pelvis. But making sure your hips are lifted a little bit above your heart. And when you get up in the bridge pose, really explore arm positioning here. You might have your arms out past your head, or maybe your hands are on your belly or arms alongside you. And for these first few minutes in the pose, just keeping your feet on the floor, soles of the feet pressing down. Good, and focus your attention down into your lower belly, into your pelvis. Good, just letting your pelvis get nice and heavy into the support. And we're going to stay in our restorative bridge pose for about 10 minutes tonight. And at any point in time, you could extend one or both of your legs out long, or you might change your arm position. You're always welcome to send your feet up to the ceiling or bring your knees to your chest with your hips elevated. But maybe looking for some stillness. And if you feel any tension around your eyes, those muscles that move your eyes, see if you can soften those just a little bit. And notice the corners of your mouth, let them relax. Good, and allow your inner ear to soften a little bit. Your jaw to release. You're just about halfway through the pose. Another 5 minutes or so remaining. So if you feel like you need some kind of adjustment, maybe a deepening or a backing off, maybe you just want to recommit to stillness. You're just slowing your breath down a little bit. And just take a quick scan through your body, noticing the back of your neck. And you might even rock your head side to side once or twice and draw the chin in towards the throat, just to create a little bit more length in those muscles. And maybe your arms want to be rearranged. And take notice of how things are feeling at the back of your rib cage, around your shoulder blades. Good, and then the middle of your back, lower back. Good, notice your pelvis. And notice the breath moving your pelvis. And however you have the legs arranged, just make sure they feel nice and heavy. And about another 20 deep breaths here. Another 10 quiet breaths. Good, and then just finding the little wiggles that want to happen as you wake your body up from this stillness. Maybe you want to rock the head side to side, kind of lazily, and notice how things are feeling, where the neck and shoulder meet. Good, and I think it might be nice if we all pull our knees into our chest with the pelvis up on the bolster just for a couple of moments. Feeling this lengthening through your lower back. Good, noticing how the muscles of the lower back feel. Good, a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Alrighty, and then just go ahead and set your feet back down on the floor, and you can lift up your hips and take the bolster or the block out of the way. And we're just going to stretch out really long here, reaching the arms out past the head. You might loosely clasp your hands overhead, fingers interlaced, your elbows could be soft, or you could grab your elbows too, yeah. Good. Good, and notice your feet, how far they are away from your hands. And just point and flex a couple times. And as you do that, you might keep your heels on the floor so that your body sort of rocks back and forth, top to bottom. Good, a few breaths, noticing the way your pelvis might be moving too. And soften your jaw here. Good. Pull both of your knees into your chest. And we're just going to take a twist on over to your favorite side. So dropping your knees in one direction. If things start to feel a little bit iffy in your lower back, you can place something underneath your knees or in between your knees or underneath your lifted shoulder. So thinking about taking this in a little bit more of a restorative way so that you are supported, so that it's comfortable, and so that it feels like you can hang here for 5 to 7 minutes. Giving yourself space to be still for a while. I'm pretty sure that in most other areas of our life, we're not really rewarded for doing nothing and holding still. Usually it's kind of the other way around. So a big, big breath into this body. Maybe several big breaths. Before allowing yourself to really fall back into a regular, kind of normal rhythm of breathing. Maybe not overthinking it tonight. Notice the way your lower ribs feel. Good. Listening again for the sound of your breath here in your twist. Okay, just taking notice of your mind's tendency to wander. Maybe this evening your mind has some wanderlust. Let's just do our best to keep ourselves right here. Okay, right here in your body, right here in your home. And take notice of what your hands and your feet are doing. And if there's any residual clenching or tightness, see if you can let everything soften just a little bit more right into the floor. Just about halfway through here. And it might be nice for some of the time to bend at your elbows and rest your hands on your own bodies somewhere. You can just kind of intuitively place your hands anywhere, really. Good, really feeling your breath move under your hands. Good, another 7 breaths here. Good, and then let's find our backs. And as you get there, you're gonna take the knee that was on the bottom and bring it out to the side. And then extend that other leg long. So it's like you're doing a tree pose on your back. The sleeping tree pose. Good. So for instance, I had my knees dropped over to the right, and now my left leg is long and my right foot's on the inside line of the leg. Good. Your hands can be on your belly, your arms can be alongside you or overhead or anywhere that feels right. It might also feel good to interlace your fingers and rest your hands on the top of your head. Good. Allow the toes of the long leg to just kind of flop out to the side. And once again, feeling the floor underneath you and just kind of gathering yourself up from where you are in your mind to where you've spread your energy around, gathering it up right back to yourself again. Good, and acknowledging that your breath is your life force. Really think about breathing purposefully. Good, we'll be here for about 20 breaths more. Good, 5 more breaths here. Follow your breath all the way from the bottom to the top and then maybe back down again. Good, and then bring your knee back into the chest, both of the knees back into the chest. And you can kind of curl up in a ball here, or you can take a happy baby pose, a little rock from side to side. Maybe you want to hold still. Good, take constructive rest. Good, 5 breaths or so before we move into the twist on the other side. Good, and as you find the twist over to the other side, really be mindful of how things are actually feeling. Instead of having some ideal shape in mind, just observe and acknowledge how the hip, the low back feels. Good. Support yourself if you want to. Good. And then take a few really big breaths into your kind of compressed body here. Okay. You notice the way the sides of your waist move, the middle of your back. Good. Notice those shoulders, your head and neck, your eyes, the corners of your eyes. Good. Everything getting a little heavier, a little softer. Good. For this last little while, you might bend at your elbows and place your hands somewhere in your belly or on your legs, your chest, your rib cage, top of the head even. Good. A few more deep breaths. Perfect. And then bring yourself back to the center. And we'll just find the sleeping tree over on the other side. So extending that opposite leg out long. Your arms can be doing any old thing. Anything that feels really comfortable in your shoulders. And sometimes when we move our arms around, it even affects how things feel in our middle back and our lower back. So just give yourself the space to be comfortable. Really let it happen. And notice the speed of your breathing. And without any forcing it or any straining, see if you can lengthen out your exhale. The inhale can kind of stay however it needs to be, but see if you can really pay attention to your exhale, make it a bit longer, a bit more complete, to that point of like comfortable emptiness. And before that new breath comes back in. And then focusing again on that exhale, the way your body changes shape. And about another 10 deep breaths in your sleeping tree pose. Good. You can start to do the next thing, whatever your body is kind of craving. So yeah, it might be you pulling your knees into your chest. It might be you just finding both of your legs long on the mat, maybe a shavasana for a moment or two. Or any kind of intuitive movement. Maybe you have like an overabundance of energy and you want to take like a bridge pose, pressing your feet into the floor, lifting your hips up. It's another nice way to relax and release the psoas and kind of stimulate the vagus nerve as well. Both of which things are kind of conducive for deep rest. The very next thing we're going to do is put our feet up on something. So if you have a wall and you can put your legs up the wall, that's great. I have a chair here. You can put your legs up on your bed or your couch. You can even put your feet up on the bolster. Really anything will do. You just want to have your feet elevated up above your hips. And so just taking a little bit of time to get yourself set up so that you're really, really comfortable. Yet again. Nope. Not quite. And as you find your legs up position, just notice how the thigh muscles are feeling, how the calves are feeling, and see if you can really let them relax into whatever you have underneath your legs. And the upper body supported by the floor. And just allowing yourself to kind of settle in again. This is a practice that really requires us to, at least at first, be sort of vigilant. I know that it's not super easy for me to just stop moving and just stop, the big flow of thoughts. And the goal isn't necessarily to stop the big flow of thoughts, but stillness of the body is kind of what we're looking for here. And then once the body is still and relaxed, then it's kind of like this other place that you can view your mind from. Learning how to kind of separate out our physical body and our mind. Even though they are, we can't really have one without the other. So just see if you can observe and stay with yourself in your body and your mind. Okay, we'll be here a few more minutes. Legs up on something. Good, a few more deep breaths. Perfect. And then we're just going to choose a final pose. And really, it can be anything. You can stay with your legs up on whatever you have them on. You might take Shavasana and lie on your back. You might roll over to one side or the other and get kind of cozy. Build a little nest for this body scan. But just giving yourself a good minute or two to get really, really cozy, settled in, warm. Maybe you're tuning your lights down a little bit. Maybe you're turning the music off, or maybe you like to have it on. Good, giving yourself, again, permission to just kind of be here, to stay with yourself. And this body scan practice is all about that very thing, really. About gathering yourself up from wherever you've been, wherever you're going. Bringing your attention through your whole body. And let's just begin this practice by taking a couple of really big breaths in this shape, however you are. Feeling the breath travel here, movement, maybe as far out as your elbows, as your knees, even beyond. You're capable of taking big breaths. Bring your attention down to your lower ribs and notice the movement there. And then into your lower belly and notice what's going on there as you breathe. And then bring all of your attention into your right thumb, your right index finger, right middle finger, ring finger, and right little finger. The palm of your right hand, back of the hand, right wrist, forearm, right elbow, upper arm, right collarbone, right shoulder blade, right side of your rib cage, side of the waist, right hip, thigh, knee, right lower leg, right ankle, top of the foot, right heel, arch, ball mound, spaces in between the toes, right big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, and right little toe. And just visualize the whole right side of your body and how it's positioned. Visualize the shape of it, feel the weight of it, and any underlying sensation, buzz of energy, fatigue, whatever's there in the right side of your body. And letting go of the right side of your body, move your attention over to your left thumb, left index finger, left middle finger, left ring finger, and left little finger. Palm of the left hand, back of the hand, wrist, left forearm, elbow, upper arm, left collarbone, left shoulder blade, left side of the rib cage, left side of the waist, hip, left thigh, knee, lower leg, left ankle, top of the foot, left heel, arch, ball mound, spaces in between the toes, left big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, and left little toe. You notice the weight of muscles and bones, the left side of your body. Visualizing how you have it arranged, the shape of things, the weight of things, the movement, and what lies underneath the surface in the left side of your body. And just a couple more breaths with your left side. Good, and then let's bring all the attention down into the soles of both of your feet. Okay, both feet and ankles. Both feet, ankles, and lower legs. From your feet up to your hips. And notice both of your glutes touching down to the floor. Good. Take notice of your whole pelvis here. Lower belly, lower back, middle of your belly, and the middle of your back. In the center of your chest, and the little space between your shoulder blades. And your throat, the back of your neck, your chin, right side of the jaw and left side of the jaw, lower lip, upper lip, your lips touching, your tongue, right cheek, left cheek, right ear listening, left ear listening, right temple and left temple, right eye and left eye, and inner corners of both of your eyes, bridge of the nose, right nostril, left nostril, space in between your eyebrows, your whole forehead, your whole scalp, your hair, and allowing everything here to soften from the top of your head all the way down to the bottoms of your feet. The inhale, you feel a little lift through your whole body, and the exhale just gives you to the ground again. Let's count maybe 27 of these breaths. And you can count backwards, you can count up, or maybe not even count at all. I can keep it for you. Just giving yourself this 27 breaths, just to be here. In this body, in your whole body. If you find yourself out wandering, just bring yourself back. It's never too late and it's never too much. And if you are still counting, you can let go of the count. You can just let go of any need to control your breathing. Any expectation of yourself. And just observe yourself as you are. You might give yourself a couple of moments here to think about how you want to move forward through your day, tomorrow, the week, or the month, or forever. Coming up with a couple of words maybe to sum it up. How you want to be, how you want to interact. And then in your own way, taking a while, you'll move the body. Eventually, we'll all come up to a seated position unless you are like ready to chill and just be on the floor for the rest of the night. Maybe you're in your bed, if so, lucky you. You really give yourself a moment. Good. And if you've chosen to sit up, or if you are going to sit up, but you're not quite there yet, just usually I say sit up really tall. I don't know, it's late. Maybe we'll just kind of like sit here in a relaxed way. Maybe you're not engaging every single core muscle to hold you up. Maybe you're really letting your belly be soft and relaxed right now. Probably feels like a good thing. And then your hands can be on your lap. Maybe your palms are down or your palms are up. Or if you have some other kind of hand position you like to take, you're welcome to do that. And let's just take a couple of little neck rolls before we kind of move along with the rest of the evening. So chin to chest, ear to shoulder. If you're feeling any residual tension in your body or mind, it might be nice to take a little lazy lion's breath, sticking your tongue really far out, crossing your eyes. Nice jaw stretch. Good, and then we'll take both of the hands on top of the heart. And now maybe we'll just do a little lift here, lifting the heart up into the hands. And then go ahead and drop your head down towards your hands and your heart, honoring this time you spent taking care of yourself and honoring each other too. Thanks everybody for coming tonight. I really appreciate you being here.